Unit 14.
Time. Hi everyone, it's nice to see you again. In our daily life, we need to know the time to do many activities, such as going to school, going to work, or having a meeting, etc. So, do you know how to ask and tell the time? Let's learn about it in today's lesson.
What time is it?
The most common question people often use to ask about the time is, what time is it? What? What? T. What? Time. T. I. Time. Notice the t sound at the beginning. T. T. And don't forget the final sound. Time. Time. Is. 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 It. 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 What time is it? What time is it? Here, what ends with the t sound, and time begins with the t sound too. When you say them together, you only need to say one t sound, like this. What time? What time? What time? And we often link the final z sound of is with the beginning I sound of it, like this. Is it? Is it? Now, let's try the whole sentence. What time is it? In this question, we stress what and time. Then, use a falling intonation at the end. What time is it? What time is it? Now, can you say it?
What time is it?
Very good. What's the time? Another way to ask about the time is, what's the time? Listen. What's? What? T. S. What's? Please don't forget the final s sound here. What's? The. The. Time. T. I. Time. What's the time? What's the time? In this question, we emphasize what's and time, and then end it in a falling tone. What's the time? What's the time? Now, it's your turn to say it.
What's the time?
Good job, guys!
It's 5 o'clock. It's 8:40.
To answer these questions or to tell the time, we use it's plus the time. It's. It. It's. It's. The important thing here is how to tell the time. But don't worry, it's not difficult at all. First, look at this clock, please. What time is it? It's 5. Or you can say, it's 5 o'clock. It's 10. Or, it's 10 o'clock. We often use o'clock after the time when it's right on the hour, from 1 to 12. And about the hours with minutes, In this beginner course, I'll introduce 2 ways to you. The first one is the easier way. You just tell the hour first and then the minutes. Let's look at the following example. It's 6:05. 6:05. Remember, here we say O instead of 0. It's a fast and easy way to tell the time. Another one. It's 8:40. Very good. Remember, we don't use a clock to tell the hours with minutes. Now, let's practice telling the time with some of our friends.
What's the time, Brian?
It's 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
What time is it, Lee?
It's 7:45.
Thanks, Lee. It's 9:30. It's 9:15.
The second way to tell the time is that you say the minutes first and then the hour. For the minutes from 1 to 30, you use past between the minutes and the preceding hour. For example, what time is it? It's 7:10. Past. P-a-s-t-st. Past. It's 7:10. That's right. Look at this one. It's 3:15. Good. Here we can use a quarter for 15 minutes. So you can also say it's 3:15. Quarter. Quarter. It's 3:15. What about this one? It's 6:30. Sometimes half is used instead of 30. So you can also say it's 6:30. Half. Half. It's 6:30. Or it's 9:30. And for minutes from 31 to 59, we use 2 between the minutes and the forthcoming hour. Let's look at some examples with 2. What's the time, guys? It's 10 to 8. That's right. How about this one? It's 9:15. That's right. Now, let's practice with Lee and Brian.
Hey, Lee. What time is it?
It's 4:30. What's the time, Brian?
It's 5:45.
There are a few things you should notice when telling the time. First, for 12 o'clock at night, you can say it's midnight. 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 So, instead of saying at 12 o'clock at night, you can say at midnight. And for 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, you can say midday. 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 Or noon. Noon. Therefore, at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day means the same as at midday or at noon. To make it clearer when telling the time, you can use in the morning with the time before noon. And after that time, you can use in the afternoon, in the evening, or at night. For example, 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the evening, 11 o'clock at night. Besides, we can tell the time in a shorter and simpler way. We use AM instead of in the morning and PM for the rest of the day, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. For example, instead of saying 6 o'clock in the morning, we say 6 a.m. Or instead of saying 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we say 5 p.m. It's easy, right? There's one more thing you should notice here. That is, we don't use AM and PM when telling the time with past and to. For example, we don't often say 9:30 a.m. We can say 9:30 in the morning instead. Now, I have some clocks. Can you tell the time?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Good, guys. Another one.
It's 9:45 p.m.
You did a very good job, guys. All right, you've learned how to ask and tell the time. Now, it's time to review. To ask about the time, you can say, "What time is it?" Or, "What's the time?" To tell the time, you can use it's and then the time. Remember 2 ways to tell the time. The easier way is the hour first and then the minutes. And another way is the minutes first and then the hour, using past and to. Some common expressions to tell the time you should also notice are at midday, at midnight, at noon, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, AM and PM. Okay, now it's time to end our lesson of asking and telling the time. Try to practice more in your everyday life. I'll see you in the next video and help you and other friends improve English mistakes in telling time. Bye. Unit 14, Time. In the previous video, we learned how to ask and answer about time. Now it's time to practice with our friends. Let's get started.
Excuse me, what time is it?
Oh, it's 7:15.
Thank you.
V asked me a question about time. Did you notice the things that she needs to correct?
Excuse me, what time is it?
Oh, it's 7:15.
Thank you.
Right. She had some pronunciation mistakes. The first one is the word time. It's not like the way you say tam in Vietnamese. First, the beginning sound of this word is t. You should make it more explosive, like this. T, t, t. And the vowel sound is not a. It's the I sound. I. Now, listen carefully. Time. T. I. Time. Time. You got it? Okay. The second thing she needs to improve is to link is and it to sound more natural. Is it? Is it? Now, the whole sentence is, what time is it? What time is it? All right, let's go back to V and help her correct the mistakes.
V, that sounded very good. There were a few things that I heard, so let's work on them. The first thing is with the word time. Now this word, it starts out with a very explosive t sound. Let's try it. T, 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 t. Exactly. This word also has this vowel sound of I. Yeah, I. Exactly. So together it's time. Time. Exactly. The next thing is with linking the words is and it. We can link them to sound more natural. So it sounds like, is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, great. So the whole sentence together, what time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
Yeah.
Hey Susanna,
Hi, Hui.
are you ready for coffee?
What's the time?
It's 7:30.
Oh, I can't. I have an appointment in 5 minutes.
Oh, what a pity.
Hui and I have just talked about time. Did you notice the things that he said incorrectly?
Are you ready for coffee?
What's the time?
It's 7:30.
The first mistake is about his pronunciation. He mispronounced some words. The first word is half. This word ends with the f sound, not p. So, to correct it, you say half. Half. Good. The second word is past. This word ends with the st sound. Pay attention to me, please. St, st, st. Past. Past. Right. And one more word that he mispronounced is o'clock. The first O should be pronounced not the sound. So we say o'clock, o'clock, o'clock. Nice. The second mistake is when telling time, Hui said, it's 7:30 o'clock. That's not correct. Do you know why? It's because we only use a clock for hours without minutes. Here, we have the hour with minutes. So we just say, it's 7:30. It's 7:30. Now, let's see how Hui can improve his mistakes.
Okay, that sounded good. There are a few things I think we can work on here. Now, you mispronounced some words. The first word was half. Now, this word ends with the f sound. Let's try that. Yeah, half.
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 Yeah, okay. The next word is past. Now, this word ends with s and t combined.
Past.
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 Exactly. Okay, the third thing is with
o'clock.
You said o'clock. Actually, it's more like o'clock.
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 Yeah. All right. So with this structure, you said it's 7:30
o'clock.
But actually, when you have said the minutes already, you don't say o'clock at the end. You just say it's 7:30. So let's try that. It's 7:30.
It's 7:30.
Yeah, it's 7:30.
It's 7:30.
All right. Now it's your turn to practice asking and answering about time. First, I'll ask and you answer. What's the time? What time is it? Now, you'll ask and I answer. It's 9 p.m. It's 7:45. All right, that's all for our lesson today. Remember to practice more, to ask and answer about time correctly, and try to avoid the mistakes noted here. It's time to say goodbye now. I'll see you very soon in the next lesson. Goodbye.